Good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. Let's talk about this big word right here that says quiz. Like I said in the directions, it's not a quiz. I just like the worksheet. It's from the iReady book, and you know how sometimes in class we use things that said quiz and they were for practice. This is for practice. It is not a quiz. I'm not grading it as a quiz. It's just being graded as classwork. So here we're continuing to practice multiplying by units of 10. Let's take a look at problem number 1. It says Rick is planting a garden. He plants 60 seeds in each row of the garden. So how many seeds will he plant in 7 rows? So just like yesterday, we go and we move. 6 times 7 is 42. And so our answer is C, 420. All right, I'm going to erase and scroll down to make sure that I'm not cutting off answers. All right, number 2. Scrolled a little too far. Which expressions, there's that S, which expressions? So that S means we're going to have at least 2 answers. Which expressions have a value of 120? Circle all the correct answers. So here, the first thing that I want to do is go and write out what each one equals. I'm just going to put an equal sign behind each one, and then I'm going to put the product. That way, I don't lose track of my thoughts. If the doorbell rings or the phone rings, we're not going to be distracted and we can go, oh, I've got this answer. It's not, oh, did I work this out? Always write your stuff down. In school, we're worried about the fire alarm or the announcements coming on and distracting us. At home, there's way more distractions. All right, here's my 0. Goodbye. 2 times 6 is 12. All right, I can circle A. There's my 0. 3 times 4 is 12. I can circle B. Okay, 0. 4 times 6, that's 24. I'm not going to circle C. That's incorrect. All right, 0. And here we are having the flip-flop of this problem. And we come to 6 times 2, which is still 12. So I'm going to circle D. All right, 10 times 2, well, that's just 20. And 40 times 3, that is 120. So for number 2, we should have a total of 4 answers. Let's take a look at number 3. Jessica puts all her pencils into 3 baskets. She puts 50 pencils in each basket. All right, I have 3 groups of 50. I'm just going to write that off to the side here so I don't forget it. How many pencils does Jessica have in all? Use factors and grouping to complete the problem. Fill in the blanks with numbers from the box. And here it's going to tell us something icky. Numbers may be used more than once. Womp, womp, womp. That makes it a lot harder. So let's go and let's take a look at this. We have 3 times 50, which is the same as 3 times something times 10. So they pulled the 10 out of 50. They went and they did 50 divided by something. I'm going to say a mystery, X. That's 10. Well, I know that 5 times 10 is 50. And I know 50 divided by 5 is 10. So this missing value right here, that's 5. So 3 times 50 is the same as 3 times 5 times 10. Okay, that makes sense. I'm not going to cross off my 5 because of this. I'm going to leave that there. I might use 5 again. All right, let's take a look at where they've moved these parentheses. So they go from circling the 5 and the 10 to now they're doing the first 2 numbers. So I'm going to copy my first 2 numbers again. and I'm going to leave my 10 outside. Why am I doing this? Because look at the order of the numbers. First place, second place, third. First place, second place, third. These parentheses have moved from second and third to first and second. That's how I know that I am putting my parentheses around 3 and 5. Because if I leave my parentheses around 5 and 10 and I go and I multiply again, I end right back up with 50. I end up with the same problem I started with. 3 times 50, because 5 times 10 is 50. That doesn't do me any good, because I've got that right here. I'm trying to make a different problem. So if I want to make a different problem, I need to find the product of 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. We've done nothing to the 10. It's going to come right here. All we're doing is looking for another way to break up the problem. And here we have 15 times 10. My 0 comes to live here, and that means it goes away here. 15 times 1 is just 15. So either way, we have 150 pencils, no matter which way you break up this problem. Maybe this wasn't working so well today and that 50 threw you off, and it was easier to do 15 times 10. You can always split it up a different way. This was definitely a tougher problem, mostly because they gave you so many numbers here. I actually think this problem would have been easier if we didn't have that number bank at all. The number bank is what makes it a little tough. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at our next problem on our Definitely Not a Quiz, Just Classwork worksheet. All right. There are 3 groups of 30 students in the school library. Each student checks out 2 books. All right. So I have 3 groups. I am grabbing my thing instead of writing. 3 groups. Now I have like a big crooked thingy here. Okay, there we go. 3 groups of 30. I want to find out how many kids there are in that library. We have our class, we have Miss Bright's class, and we have Miss Franklin's class. We all went to the library. We're going to say, there's 30 people in each class because we got 12 new students for every class all of a sudden. I don't know, guys. We know there's 18 in ours. Let's just roll with me. So all 3 classes show up. 0 comes to live here, goes away here. 3 times 3 is 9. So we've got 90 people. Each of those 90 people get 2 books. So that means that we have 90 groups of 2. Which multiplication equation can be used to find the total number of students in the library? We went ahead and we automatically just kind of set it up for the books as well. But here we already found the students. This word's very important because if you say 90 times 2, you're telling me the total number of books. It wants the number of children in that library. So we said there's 3 groups of 30, which is 90 students. All right, part B. Explain how you can find the total number of books checked out of the library. You're going to explain with math. They just gave you lots of room, so if you want to explain with large writing in math, you can go for it. So, to find the total number of books, we have 90 students. They're each getting 2 books. So nice of Miss Wessner to let everybody take 2. And then we move our 0. And 9 times 2 is 18. So we have 180 books. Looks a little scary because of the way they broke it up, but it's actually a very easy problem when you just look at the steps and you read carefully what the problem's asking you for. All right, last question set. Is the product of the multiplication expression equal to 540? Yes or no? All right. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my equal signs behind. That way, if I am distracted because, say, my younger sibling comes running through the room screaming, I have not lost my train of thought. My work is right here in front of me. All right, there's my 0. In fact, I'm just going to go and put all my zeros because we already know we got to poof the zeros. 8 times 7 is 56. That's a no from me. All right, 9 times 7. So think about that. 10, or I just said the total wrong problem. I looked here and here. My gosh. 9 times 6. So 10 times 6 is 60. 60 minus 6. One group more of 6 than we needed. 54. Yep. All right. 5 times 4 is 20. Nope. And 90 times 6. Wait a minute. Look what they did. They tried to be sneaky. We already found the answer to this. It is 54. All right, guys, I will see you today at our class meeting at 10.